Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, it's the Ramble. It's Alex. It goes until midnight tonight on the East Coast of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, being very quiet, there he is. That's Stephen Pearl.
Chico, don't be discouraged. The trigger is not that hard to pull. Today we celebrate the 44th anniversary of the idiotic Freddie Prinze blowing his brains out because his life was so horrible. How about that?
What brand of phone do you have?
It's a, let's see, it's a, let me look. I don't know.
Because I want to know what it is, because I'm going to recommend to everybody who's listening to us not to.
It came with the government cheese. Yeah. I don't know. I got a phone. You know.
I'm going to tell everybody not to buy it because the sound of your microphone is terrible.
Oh, God. Roosevelt Stadium this week.
Well, listen, I thought today, since you are using your iPhone and it is portable, that you could kind of give us a little tour of your apartment.
Sure. Would you like me to do that now?
Sure. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, let me get this. It's the Orange Lady. Yes, we love art here at the Pearl Ranch. Let's see. Well, here's the bedroom. It's a mess, as you can see. There's one of the cats. Hello, cat.
Well, let you show the bed. Show the bed, because I want to see. Is it
mess?
Oh, you make it every day, do you?
Every week, you know.
Yeah, because when I was a bachelor, I never made my bed. Because I always liked to just have it so I could get under the covers if I wanted to.
Yeah, you know, it's made enough. You know, it's on the ground. It's made.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So that's the bed. That's the bedroom. Wait, show us the cat again. Got to see the cat.
Where's the cat? Oh, here he is. Come here, you. Here he is.
Which one is that? Is that?
I am, and I didn't name him, so shut up. Here's where the cats do their business, and here's a couple of Fillmore East schedules. You want to buy them? 500 each. They're good shows. And here's the bathroom.
Yeah.
Pretty damn clean for me.
Uh-huh.
There's the bathroom, and here we walk into the living quarters.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you can see anything because the lights are off. Let's see.
Yeah.
The lights on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's my wall of fame with mostly dead people on it. Photograph with me.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's see the photograph of you. There we go.
Which one? I'm in all of them.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Muhammad Ali one.
You know something? You move into a house. You're not like some bachelors. They wouldn't put pictures up and things like that. They just move in, throw the stuff in there, and that's it. You know.
Oh, I've done that too, but I don't want naked walls. It makes the place look so sad.
Yeah, but this is a pretty new place you're in, so it's not like the old one. So you got all the pictures up and you did all the stuff. You must really be getting COVID crazy.
Oh, I'm going nuts here. Here's a pictures Dr. Gonzo painted and sent me of Jack Benny, the greatest comedian who ever lived.
Yep. Absolutely.
And there's a group, the greatest band that ever was. So I got them off keeping me company.
Which band is that? Wait a minute. Hold still. Is that the Rolling Stones? Or is it the Beatles, of course? All right.
Okay. I never said we were bigger than Jesus. I said we were taller. He was 5'11". We were 6 foot. Okay, here's the kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Looks lived in. Here's Muddy Waters. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I love the look on that cat. He's like...
He loves getting his chin rubbed. See that? Oh, he's in heaven right now. That's my buddy. Hi, Muddy. Here's some empty boxes. Here's some records I'd like to get rid of. If anybody wants them, $1 each. Take them on. Maybe 50 cents each.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I think that's it. Here's a Beatles calendar from last year. Here's a picture of Janis Joplin. A mugshot.
Wait a minute. Show us.
He was arrested in 1963.
Wait a minute. We are not seeing it, though. You're...
Wait a second, let me find it. How's that?
Oh, no, you know what you're doing is you're aiming at it, but it's not because you got it face forward. There we go. There goes. You almost got it in frame. See, what you're doing is you can't you're just looking at you're doing a selfie.
I can't see anything. It's on the other
You're
side.
doing a selfie, so you gotta kind of point the camera in the front. There we go. Oh, there she is. She was actually better looking then, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, I think this is 1963, so it looks like she's got a beetle wig on top of her hair.
What did she get arrested for?
For stealing a jar of mayonnaise from a grocery store in Berkeley. That's what I heard.
Really?
This is before anybody knew who she was. She was a little street urchin. She was a hoodlum.
She was out there. Yeah, okay.
She was, God bless her. So I thought she was very pretty when she sang. I got to see her once. And
I saw her once too in Chicago.
There's my autographed picture of Muhammad Ali, his daughter.
See, the trouble is you're not really showing them because you're using your selfie.
Here's a close up of the wall. How's that? I got that. Like the wall. You like that plastic?
We're getting dizzy. We're getting dizzy.
You get the idea. That's my house, folks.
That's your house. It's nice. So you haven't got
a little bitty house with a little bitty kitchen and a little bitty microwave and a little bitty bedroom and 3 cats telling me what to do all the time.
And little bitty cats. Yeah.
Little bitty cats.
Yeah. So tell me, have you gotten your phone fixed yet?
This is I mean my computer, my if I did, I wouldn't be on this thing.
You wouldn't be on that thing, huh?
Finances are a bit thin this time of year, so I'm waiting.
Well, what? Oh, listen, my phone's ringing. You hear that? That's my watch.
I thought it was my agent. Get off that show now.
Yeah, but I didn't answer it. I didn't answer it because it might be one of those robocallers. And if it wasn't a robocaller,
I get thousands of those.
Since I
started looking for an apartment, I've been getting thousands of emails every day and thousands of these calls. It was a scam likely, so I never answer them. But it's really fucking annoying.
You know what bothers me? How many of these do you get where you actually do answer it and then there's nobody on the other end?
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking, why did you robocall me if you're not at least going to start running the recording?
Well, the person on the machine is on their crack break or something.
I don't know because I go hello because I figure maybe that will trigger it and it doesn't trigger it.
Yeah, and you feel like a dope and you want to strangle people.
Why can't we just make these things illegal? You know why? I found out because they're not making them from this country.
Yeah, they're going from wherever, like India or
Bombay,
wherever they are.
Yeah,
it's all that fucking Nixon's fault.
Yeah, it's all Nixon's fault. Anyway, so you haven't gotten your computer fixed yet?
No, I barely got enough money for beans this month, so it's weird. No gigs because of the COVID thing, and even though I'm in Vegas, there's like 3 places running, and I've done them already. So I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting around.
Well, you might get a $1,600 check from the government.
Oh, would I like that? That would help me get my car fixed and pay the bills and get a little bud, and, a little blunt, man, a little spliff, and I'll be off, man. Shit.
Yeah, but that
would help. So I hope Uncle Joe, President Uncle Joe, sends those out. So.
Yeah, and besides that, there's the $600, I think, that they already approved. Did you get that?
I already got that. That was a month ago or so. So I could use that. It would be like $1,400 or something.
So you buzzed through that pretty fast.
Oh, that went. Then the rent came along, and that was it, Jack. Oh, wait a second. Just got another.
Now, let me ask you the big question, the big important question. Do you have enough money for pot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's always enough.
A little bit of it, But I tried quitting and it didn't take. I'm mean and surly, and I'm a walking, talking chunk of mean mad.
Oh, wow.
Like Tom Joad, and I like it. It's my only vice. Leave me alone.
So, what's new? I mean, you're not getting out, right? Have you gotten the vaccine yet?
No, I haven't had the vaccine. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of a vaccine that's created in a hurry and with a due
wait,
date.
Hold on a second. I've really got to. You're the kind of person we have to win over on this thing. Okay. To begin with, forget the word vaccine. This isn't really a vaccine. This is a thing that was produced in a lab. They've had it for about 18 years, and they've just been waiting for something to apply it to. And it's really just something that goes into you, and then it tells certain parts of your body, okay, here comes a coronavirus spike thing, okay, kill it or lop off its spikes or something like that. And it does that. It's not like a normal vaccine where they give you a little bit of the disease and then you get antibodies and then you're protected against it. This is a whole different technology. And to call it a vaccine, I think, is wrong because it makes people like you frightened about,
you call it a milkshake or something. So
yeah. I had it the other day. I had it a couple of weeks ago. A week ago, Wednesday. Well, we're recording this on a Wednesday. It was 2 weeks ago I got mine. Or was it a week ago? Wait a minute. I don't remember.
See, it took your mind over. You don't even remember.
Yeah.
It's going to erase you and put new thoughts in you. I must join the Socialist Party.
No,
See,
I think it was a week ago, actually. It was on the 20th, whenever that was. Okay. Which would be last week, right? Yes, that was last week. So and I'm not going nuts. I haven't got any kind of reaction to it, So,
well, you never know. I'm afraid I might grow a second head, and on top of that, it won't like the same music as me.
Well,
I want to hear blues. No, I want to hear hip hop.
Well,
bam, bam. Oh, I thought that too. No fair.
Well, if you believe the QAnon people, the trouble with this vaccine is it has a tracking device in it. And the government can follow you.
When I go to the dispensary and they'll come and get me.
The government can follow you around. However, this is important, and you should know this, that they already have a device that tracks you everywhere you go. It's called your cell phone.
There you go.
Okay, so why would they put it in a vaccine? But this vaccine is not dangerous on any level. It doesn't. It's not capable of being dangerous. It's a whole different way of going after a virus. Okay, so I would get it when you can. How old are you now?
65. Pretending I'm 22.
Okay, you can get it. You're 65 and over.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where they're giving it out. I would get it if they had it around here. I guess I don't know if they do or not, but
if you just I was going to say go online, but you don't have a computer. But
I can go online from this phone.
Okay, well, just say, where can I get a COVID shot? It might be that you can get it very easily in Nevada. Here, I had to wait 2 hours in a line.
I can't do that.
And
I got things to do, baby.
And my second shot, which is supposed to be, 4 weeks. 4 weeks later, it's going to be 5.5 weeks because they didn't have any appointments earlier. So it's a really fuck up here in New York. But I understand in states like California, it's in and out, and 4 weeks later you get your second shot. So I would do it, Steve, because I who wants you to die?
I'm not ready to die yet. Wait a minute, something. What the hell happened here?
There we go. We got the dreaded name of the person thing.
I hope this place. What the hell?
There you go. Now you're back on. You're back on. No, now you're off again.
Wait a minute. What the hell's going on here? Jesus. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here you are.
Yeah.
Now there's two of you. Oh, here we go. Whoa, what was that all about?
I don't know.
Technical difficulties. WNEW TV.
How did that happen? Did you lose signal or something like that?
Somebody sent me a message and it came on the whole screen, and then I got all the messages.
I see.
I don't know what's going on. I don't like this new technology. Yeah. Give me the old time when you go.
You know something? Hardwired stuff, believe it or not, was more reliable.
Oh, those old phones you could throw at someone and kill 5 people. They were great.
Oh, well, I wanted to do an ad once for the phone company that said, remember that time you got mad at your wife and you threw the phone, you yanked the phone out of the wall and threw it at her, and remember that it didn't break and you just screwed it back into the wall.
The good old days.
We're AT&T. We're reliable. Because in those days, you could take these phones. You could the first thing when you got mad that you did was pull the phone out of the wall and throw it. You abused the phone because it wasn't yours. It belonged to the phone company. So fuck it. They made it so there was no way you could break it. But then they came out with all these other things like these little handheld phones that you buy at Best Buy, and they're just piffle, you know.
You throw them with your great grandmother, they break halfway through, you know.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, listen. It looks like we're slowly running out of time.
Well, we got a lot done today.
Actually, me more than you because I'm 81, so I'm running out of time.
Hey, I'm running out of time too. Not just so.
I put a
so
thing
quickly.
up the other day. Larry King died, and I said, "Thank you, Larry. You were great. See you soon." Meaning that, hey, I'm older. You know, one day I'm going to die, and everything. People started writing me, "Are you sick? Is there something wrong with you?"
Yeah, you got to watch it when you're older, man.
Anyway, hey, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, okay?
All right, my friend. We'll do 2 weeks from today or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the amazing Stephen Pearl.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Got to turn the lights on. And now I look beautiful. Oh, boy. I'm always forgetting to do something now. There's too much I have to do. I don't know. Maybe I should just do this thing one day a week. Then I'll fuck everything up one day a week instead of every night. Listen, I thought we'd do something we haven't done in a long time, and that's go over and take a look at our screen of death. And this is, let me see here. Let me do this. There we go. There's our screen of death. That is from Johns Hopkins University. And they have, they've been putting up this, what I call the graph of death, for about 10 months now, I guess, ever since the COVID thing began in March, at least for us. And let's take a look around the world to begin with. Look at that number. Look at that number there. Okay? 104,838,939 global cases. That's scary, isn't it? That scares the crap out of you. Of that, let's see here. The deaths globally are 2,281,731. All right. Now, look at that. See the U.S. deaths? We amount to about a fifth of that, about 20%, I think, of that total there. Let's go to the United States here and look at the numbers here. Let me see here. Come here. This is not what I wanted. I want, It used to be when I would press on United States, I would get no data? Oh, good. That's ridiculous. Okay, hold on a second. Deaths in the U.S. Well, wait a minute. Son of a bitch. This really bothers me. I want that. Okay, there we go. Oh, it says global cases, but that's not global cases. That's how many cases we've had in the United States. 26,676,022 cases in the United States, okay? The amount of deaths, there it is, right there, folks, the death rate, 455,735 as of this very moment. Now, here's the thing that's kind of interesting. Here is the New York deaths, okay? Now, we, as you know, started out with this whole thing. We actually did we were the very first to really get a bad case of it because we didn't see it coming, and it was coming from Europe, and we were trying to take care of it, and we couldn't. And so we really had a lot of deaths in the very beginning. This was a slaughter. Thank God I'm not a very social person, and Marjorie isn't either. So we didn't go out much. So we were spared catching COVID in the very beginning and being part of that death total. But we have a total so far in New York of 44,298,000 deaths. Now, most of those happened during the first, I'd say, 3 to 4 months of the pandemic. And then we grabbed it by the balls and wrestled it to the ground, okay? And there was one day, I think maybe it was in September or so, October, somewhere around there, where we had zero deaths in the entire state of New York. But look what's happening. California, if you can look at the screen, look at your screen there. California is coming up. They are only about 1,300 deaths behind us, where we were once the worst amount of deaths anywhere in the country. We're about to be surpassed by California, okay? Slowly coming up on their heels with 38,453, which would put them about, 6,000 behind us here in New York, in Texas, all right? Florida, you got 27,000. Pennsylvania, 28,000. You got, we go over to New Jersey, 21,000. I mean, this is terrible. This is terrible. Now, if you were to go to someplace like, say, let's go to England. Okay, well, that's Spain. Let me see here. I don't want Spain. I want England. Let's see, London. Okay. They've got 97,162 deaths in London. Okay, or England, actually. Wow, that is not a lot of deaths. I would have thought they would have had more, but I guess they didn't. Well, United Kingdom, no cases, but the deaths, no. Not as good, not as bad. Anyway. But look at this, the United States. Look at us. Look at that. It's just pure infection there, ladies and gentlemen, on a grand scale. Especially, let me try and get this. This gets really wonky. This is what I wish John Hopkins would do something about that. Look at where, like here, in this part here, there are some empty spaces, but also that's like Nevada. That's just desert out there. But look at California, look at the whole East Coast, look at everywhere in the United States. England's pretty bad, okay? France is pretty bad. All of Europe is really hurting. Russia claims they only have, let me see here. Where is it? They only had something like, 29,000 deaths. I don't believe that exactly. But anyway, this is what it looks like around the world and everywhere. And the safest place to be, it looks like, is Australia. Look, Australia's got a couple little dots down there. Of course, they got nothing up in here in Australia, too. So, that's one of the reasons. China, not doing badly. They say that if Hubei, China, where is it? Where is Beijing? Beijing, I think, is up here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Beijing, 1,044 cases, 9 deaths. Now, why is it in China, where it started, they don't have as bad a problem? Got an answer for you. It's very simple. They did something about it, okay? But anyway, I don't want to depress you anymore with the death chart, but that is certainly something to look forward to, right? We like doing that because we know you enjoy it so very much. Anyway, on we go, and we hope that you enjoyed that little part of our program that made our lives just a lot better. Anyway, I think it's time for us to go check in with our panel here. People are forming, and we've got, let's see, who's coming on board here. We got Robert Natali. Hello, Robert. Good to see you again tonight.
Gentlemen, how's everyone tonight?
Yes, Alan, great to see you. Great to see you, Charlie. Great to see you, Brian Neary, my old friend. And hopefully other people will join us as well. Boy, that's pretty depressing, isn't it? I think I beat you to depression tonight, Charlie. Sorry I took your job away from you.
Yeah, but you missed the headline.
I missed the headline?
Yeah, we exceeded 5,000 deaths for the first time.
Today?
Today, 5,282.
What happened? I mean, New York's deaths went down. But what?
California and Texas, we're leading the pack.
Really? So that figure I just gave wasn't in the mix there. But California is only about 1,300 people behind New York.
Yep.
And you guys in Texas, you're doing your job, you know.
No, they're not.
What I hear about this guy in Florida owns a supermarket. Did you hear about this guy?
Yeah.
Doesn't want his employees to wear masks, or anybody who comes in the store is not allowed to wear masks. Why? Because he thinks it's all a hoax.
Is he the heart attack guy?
What do you mean the heart attack guy?
There was a guy they interviewed this morning on MSNBC in Florida. I didn't catch his connection or what he did for a living, but this guy said heart attacks kill more people than COVID. So why didn't we shut down the country for heart attacks? You got to love that. You can't fix stupid.
Well, I think COVID is the third largest death in America, but heart attacks are very common. That's one of the things that go out on you.
But I can't give you a heart attack. You know,
no, you can't. I can't. Well, I could give you a heart attack. I'm very good at doing that.
Yeah, I suppose.
People.
Yeah. I suppose.
I mean, in the good news today, a little farther north from Florida, is the U.S. House removed Marjorie Greene from all her things because of her stupidity.
Well, I agree with them doing that. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't want them to throw her out of there. I think that is the job of her constituency. You know, but
actually 9 Republicans joined in and voted for her to.
Yeah. But the rest of the Republicans, she's okay with us. She should have killed Nancy Pelosi. We're all with her. Yeah. Boy, what a bunch of douchebags. Amazing.
Listen, before we go any further, can I get assurances that we're not going to talk about nose jam or stool samples or how many inches Alex has tonight?
No, not at all. However, yesterday I kept because I have this neuropathy, and my feet kind of tingle. I wear socks all the time, so I wore socks to bed the other night, and when I took it out, I had some amazing toe jam.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
I don't have to worry about toe jam.
I didn't mention all those other things. I'd mentioned toe jam.
That's not a problem for Charlie. Yeah. That's sad.
Well, he gets less toe jam, but I'm sure he still gets toe jam.
Can we go to Charlie's shirt of the day, please?
Oh, what is his shirt of the day? What is that? F equals. You see, I'm no good with math, so you better tell me the joke.
That's force equals math times acceleration. That's the formula for acceleration, and it says, "May the force be with you."
I get it.
Oh.
I like the acceleration part.
Huh?
I like the part of acceleration. It's what a motor or jet engine does. They use that.
I wish I were better at math. I would have gotten the joke immediately. You know.
See, I have one from back in my teaching days that says 4/3 of all students have trouble with fractions.
4/3.
I'm going to wear it some night. I still have it.
That's very good. That's very good. But I just, I getting back to this guy down in Florida with his store and his, I mean, what kind of moron can possibly say that COVID is a hoax? I mean, where that moronic ability comes from, I have no idea. Maybe a very special gift,
It's called Republican.
Yeah.
If I get the virus, I'm going to fly down to him and I'm going to cough in his face.
Right.
Well, that's the deal. He won't get sick, but you will. Yeah. That's how life works.
Yeah. And I say if he wants to get the vaccine, we don't give it to him.
Right. Exactly.
We just, there's certain people who should not get the vaccine.
His store is going to be the next super spreader.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. See, some of these people are just insane. I mean, how anybody has turned this whole thing into a political question. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's not a political thing. People are dying. There are, how many deaths do we have now? 455,000? Try and tell the relatives of those people that it's a hoax.
Yeah.
You know? And you're disrespecting those people.
Yeah.
That's the other part about it. You're disrespecting the deaths that were caused by this horrible, horrible virus that we've got. I mean...
Well, just like Green saying that the Sandy Hill shootings were a hoax.
Right.
Yep.
Well, we know that's true. But,
I like Robert's statement from last night about his hand around her neck.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was so appropriate.
Yeah.
You got to feel for the parents. You really do.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Absolutely.
it's disrespectful to those people. I mean, well, you know where that all started. What's his name? Alex Jones was the guy that said Sandy Hook was a hoax.
Hoax. Yeah.
And so she was simply parroting Alex Jones. And he got sued by the parents at Sandy Hook, or by one of the parents at Sandy Hook. And I think that they're still in court on that one.
See, I think the Trump era served one purpose, for good or bad, but there's been a lot of stupid in our country, but it's been buried in rabbit holes, you know. And the Trump era, it brought them all out, a little bit like peanut butter brings out mice, you know. It ferreted them all out, and now we're shocked to see how much stupid there is out there. But it's been there all along. It's just now it has voice.
You see, I will forgive being naive. Okay? That's a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
But pure stupidity. I mean, when you look and you see that 455,000 people have died, and then you call what they died of a hoax, or that more people die of heart attacks and we don't stop. Well, there is nothing you can do. You can stop heart attacks. You can eat less food and you can exercise a lot. And even if you do that, some people just get heart attacks from eating pocket lint. You know,
Fix.
I mean,
remember the runner Fix? He had a heart
Jim
attack.
Fix.
Yeah.
He kept telling everybody I had a bad heart, but now I took care of it with running and running and running and running. And one day he keeled over, and people like myself were there going, you know, because he was
like Robert says, you know,
he was so obnoxious about it. What?
Well, like Robert's saying, you know, the people are saying this stuff, and then they try to push it off like, oh, I never said that. Like she was saying, oh, that stuff was in the past. That stuff was like 2 or 3 months ago when she's saying this stuff, and they all have it on tape and video of her and her posting it on her Instagram or whatever. And they say, oh, that was in the past. And then she said today, she said, pieces of words that I say, and the same thing with you, media, pieces of words, or no, not media, but the other people that were there today, pieces of words that we say can get misconstrued, and it's like, what are you talking about? Those are complete sentences you were speaking about.
Yeah, we saw you walking down the street chasing that kid from Parkland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Calling him names and everything like that. I guess she didn't know who he was. What was that about?
I am certainly for watching Robert strangle this bitch.
Yeah.
Listen. There isn't a person on our panel tonight who hasn't been guilty. I'll be the front of the line of saying something stupid in our life that was insensitive, or it was, you know, derogatory, and you realized your words were too sharp after the fact. But you're talking about an isolated case where you're just being human. This is a woman that seeks to be stupid, you know, at every turn.
Well, I'll tell you, it isn't just stupid. It is, the stupidness is compounded by the stupidness of putting it on a public forum.
Yeah.
Okay, like saying, "Well, Joe, I'll put it on Facebook, but nobody will see it."
Right.
No.
Stupid needs an audience, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah.
You know, people have to learn that now, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, and I'll qualify that in a second. Unfortunately, anything you put on the internet comes back to haunt you. Okay, I say it's terrible in that it can be misconstrued, it can be misrepresented, but if it's a constant thing like she was doing, there's no case of misconstruing what she said. I heard it, you know.
Does she have any kids?
And I'd almost admire her more if she stood behind the shit she said, you know, instead of now trying to soft pedal it, and like now she's a little nervous. And so,
well, no, she came out and she said Sandy Hook never really did happen, and blah blah blah. Really, the thing at the Pentagon really did happen. Now I'm going to give her a little width and breadth here on that Pentagon thing, because there are some people that go, there wasn't a plane there when it crashed. I guess it was so burnt up and everything that there was no. It doesn't seem to have been a plane there.
Completely disintegrated.
It completely disintegrated. Now I'll buy that, but but I can see where she might have suspicions about that. Okay.
How about the Twin Towers? I didn't see the plane.
No, she didn't talk about the Twin Towers, though. What she was complaining about was the Pentagon, and said that plane never fell into the Pentagon. Well, then where did that impact come from? Where did that, you know? But nevertheless, I can see where a conspiracy theorist, and many of them have said this about the Pentagon, okay? I've seen whole things about, you know, this is why there wasn't a plane did not crash into the Pentagon, blah blah blah, and then they show you stuff, and you go, okay, well, you know, and they've tried to make a case for that for years. So I'll give her a pass on that, okay?
Yeah, but what happened to all the people on the airplane in the airplane?
Well, of course,
Never been seen again.
Never been seen again. Well, you know, those Jewish flying saucers, lasers. Yeah. Well, no, but it's from Jewish flying saucers that the lasers are being sent from. Okay.
Yeah.
with a schmear.
With a schmear. Yeah.
Can I bring up something from yesterday?
I can see a flying saucer up there with a little old Jew with his nose just barely above the steering wheel. You know.
And I heard him because it was that morning we had lightning storms that went all the way up the bay, and that's what caused most of those fires.
Really?
So I heard him. I just didn't see him.
Those were the lasers. Those were the lasers.
Those are lasers, yeah.
But I mean, you know, there are certain conspiracy theories about things all the time. You know, I mean, the one that I always loved what happened with the JFK. All the theories. There were so many theories that eventually, if there was any truth to one of them, it was so obliterated by all the others. And
they're also mentioning one of Kennedy, of what's his name, Kennedy, that crashed in the airplane. You know, the son?
Yeah, John Kennedy Jr.
John Jr.
Yeah, Jr. That there was a conspiracy theory about that too, right?
Sure.
yeah.
A Jewish laser hit it.
Oh, that he's not dead. John Kennedy
not
Jr.
dead.
isn't dead. Yeah. Right? Am I right, Charlie?
Yeah, that's the conspiracy. He's not dead.
He's not dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it all
Maybe
goes
I'll call
back.
the show.
That's part
See
of
if you
the
can call
that's
show.
part of the QAnon theory, right? It's part of
Yeah.
QAnon.
Yeah.
Yes. Or that the Clintons did something to him. I don't know.
Meanwhile, it all goes back to one of the first things I learned in a philosophy class, Occam's razor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that the simplest explanation is usually the one that's closest to the
I
truth.
said that about the Kennedy assassination. I went on the air and I said, tonight I am going to be very controversial about the Kennedy assassination. I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear, but I know something about the Kennedy assassination that you don't know, and that is Lee Harvey Oswald killed him. And then I just waited, and people started calling up, yelling at me and screaming at me. And I said, see, I told you it was the most controversial theory. The most controversial theory was that Lee Harvey Oswald actually did it.
Simplest one. Yeah.
How can you get all 5 shots in 5 seconds
my
and hit him
goodness.
all the time? You know something? Sometimes that can happen. It's rare, but it can happen. Okay? But, I mean, it was insane what people were doing with that. Yes, you had your hand up, Alan. I wanted to get to Alan.
Yeah, so I want to get back to the idiot that owns My Pillow real quick. No.
Let's talk about stool samples instead.
Yes, please. I'm no Nutella here tonight, but
This is kind of a stool sample. He is. So, does anybody know that he wrote a book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it till last night.
I didn't read it.
Yeah. How much did it cost you?
It's $9.95. I went to the My Pillow site. I think it was yesterday. It's $9.95, and it's called "Things I Learned from God" or what something with.
No.
God.
It says
it's got
what
God
are
in
the
the title.
odds? Question mark. From crack addict says CEO.
Okay, but
Back
doesn't
to
have a
crack addict.
doesn't have a
Yeah.
subtitle about
That's
God in
my
there?
point,
Isn't there a
Robert.
subtitle about God in there?
Oh, probably. He's
He was a crack addict. So he's
Didn't he get hit with a big old suit today from?
he didn't.
Yep.
Did he?
he didn't?
No, he didn't.
No.
But I'll tell you,
Maria Bartiromo and-
Smartmatics,
Smartmatic. Yeah.
which is a company that makes voting machines. And quite frankly, if I'm going to buy a voting machine, I'm not going to buy a voting machine from a company with such a lack of imagination that they called their company Smartmatic.
It also slices onions. Yeah.
They also
You want a smart poller, right? Yeah.
yeah. It's smart.
Dices,
That's perfect.
And you can also pick up Netflix on it. So, you know.
And if you act now,
Yeah. So anyway, they're suing, let's see here, Fox.
Giuliani.
Giuliani.
Lou Dobbs.
No, Tucker Carlson.
Lou Dobbs.
What's his name? The other moron.
Kennedy.
Hannity, yeah. Janine Pirro. Oh, God, I'm glad they're going after that cunt.
Who's suing them?
Smartmatic.
Smartmatic.
Company.
The polling company.
Oh,
No, they make the voting machines.
They make the voting
Yeah.
machines. Yeah.
Yeah, they make the voting machines. And Giuliani, they're doing it for 2.7 million. 1.5 million is against Giuliani by a Dominion.
No, billion.
Dominion. Billion. Both of these, 2.7 billion and then
Billion.
1.5 billion on the thing with against Giuliani by Smartmatic's competitor Dominion. Now that's the one that gets me too. Why do you name yourself a company like Dominion? It sounds like you're out to take over the world.
And Giuliani got screwed from Trump with all the lawyer money. It's so funny.
Well, he was
Yeah, he
billing him.
wouldn't pay
Wait a
him.
minute. Hold on a second. He was billing Trump at $20,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe he feels like a doctor who turns in how much he charged you for something to Medicare because he knows they're going to bring the price down. So you make
the
it
joke
14.
is Trump probably heard 20 grand and said, 20, 40, whatever. You ain't getting a dime anyway.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pay him anyway.
Yeah. So, it's just. Oh, and also they want they want Trump to show up for his trial.
Yeah, fat chance.
And he said, "Nah, I'm not coming. It's just a publicity stunt."
I mean, why don't they subpoena him instead of asking him? How stupid.
Well, he said it's just a publicity stunt, and I think he got that information from Marjorie Taylor Greene. So,
Nah, there's a letter out there on the media that they're asking for him to come there, but why would he come? I wouldn't go either unless they subpoenaed me, and even then, he probably won't go.
Nah, he won't.
But
well, he could go up in front of a public audience again and yell and scream that he was robbed.
no, he would never do this. Take the Fifth Amendment, but because he would think that he, being the smartest man in the world, that he'd be able to talk his way out of everything.
John Larkin.
You know what the irony is? His defense is going to be that you can't impeach a president that's not in office, but he still claims that he's still president. He hasn't, admitted that he's not the president. So,
but stop and think about this for a minute. The reason why it makes sense that you can impeach someone beyond their term is the following. If you can't, then I could become president. I could rip the country off of $1 billion, and the moment I'm impeached, resign.
Yeah.
And now I'm beyond impeachment again.
Well, they can still prosecute you criminally.
Well, that's the thing. Will they do that? But you can certainly be impeached beyond your term.
Yes, you can. But he already was impeached.
Yes.
Okay.
Convicted.
So, but the trial can take place. All impeachment is an indictment.
Yep.
And then that indictment goes to the Senate, who then tries it as a case. So I would imagine, like anything else, if I did a crime and maybe there was a statute of limitations, if they got me before it ran out and charged me with it, they could then wait years before they put me on trial. Okay, so it's the same thing. But I think it's well within the purview. But it's not going to happen because the Republicans are not going to vote we need 17 of their votes, and they're not going to vote to convict.
That defeats the whole purpose of impeachment. Because it's supposed to be a trial by jury, and it's supposed to be a jury. The jury can't make up their mind before they hear the evidence.
Well, the jury is the Senate. Yeah, and but that's why I'm saying that. I guess let's do it for grins, or whatever. But we're wasting our time. What's going to happen is the Southern District of New York is going to file charges against Trump for all kinds of corruption, and he's going to have more trouble there, because that's some prison time, okay, that he be facing, and he's not facing prison time if he's found guilty in the Senate. He just never can run for president again, and has to go to his room and without television.
But can't he be prosecuted for the same thing that he's being impeached for?
Yes.
When he's out?
That's a separate trial.
So they could still prosecute him for that, for inciting a riot.
Yes, I think they could, but the question is who's going to do it. And that would have to be again the Attorney General of the United States filing charges against him, or maybe it could be somebody in the District of Columbia.
The DC.
The DC Attorney General or whatever district. Prosecutor, whatever you call it.
The District of Columbia Police have asked the DA or whatever it is there to file charges of inciting a riot.
Well, but the thing is, and here's the point. I think that the D.C. District Attorney does not have any kind of power over what happens at the Capitol, because that is somehow special ground or something. Property. It's not even, it's federal property, and it's not part of the city.
But what have we learned, class? What we've learned is if you're president and your party is in control of the Senate or close to it, you can basically get away with anything you like.
Well, no, even if you are close to it or maybe over it, maybe you got more people. We could have 10 more.
You're still good.
More guys, Democrats in the Senate, and we still wouldn't be able to find him guilty. So, So I mean, I think, quite frankly, I think. It's ridiculous, the whole system, because I mean we do have to, I do agree that this guy should be called to account for what he did. I mean, what he did was one of the most egregious things that any president could possibly do. I mean, you're president of the United States. You're supposed to protect the Constitution, and you didn't. I mean, I don't know why we can't just get him on charge of failing to live up to his oath of office, because he swore that he would protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, and at a certain point he tried to usurp it.
He forgot about that. That he swore to do that.
Yeah, well,
And of course his word is always good, right?
But did you see the Bible that Biden was sworn in on? It was a family Bible. Yeah, and it was this high, this thick, and I think they also had all the events of the family for the last 200 years in there and everything. The goyim, them and their Bibles. Okay, anyway, and I looked at Trump's thing, his inauguration. It was that thin a Bible. Yeah, it's like the one he held up in front of the church upside down.
It was the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He bought that thing from Tony.
Yeah. Tony writes me a note yesterday on Messenger, right? On Facebook Messenger. It says, I just got a letter from the city, and it says I'm going to get my it's got the barcode, and it tells me I'm going to be getting my shot on the 11th. It's always bragging about it. And I wrote him back and said, everybody got one of those yesterday. And it was true. They sent out one to Marjorie, got one, I got one, he got one. It's because the city doesn't know how they want to do this thing, and they just keep sending out different revisions of what they've been doing. I hope they don't lose me in the mail, But anyway, it's just all I'm saying is that
where is Smart Ryan tonight?
Who? Oh, Smart Ryan. Yeah, I often wonder. I was thinking to myself, you think he's really a kid? I think so. He sounds like a kid. You don't think he's a kid, Robert?
No.
He played Roblox.
Huh?
He knows Roblox, and that's what I play with Adrian.
Okay.
You're not 9 years old though. You play.
Hey, it's better than when you were a dad and had to probably have makeup on for your kids. I didn't have to do that. This days, the tea parties for the girls is going on Roblox.
Well, if
you
he
still have to dress up as funny people. So.
If
it was Legos in my day.
If Ryan isn't a kid, whoever's doing it is doing a perfect impression of a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, yeah.
Because I try to listen to it and say, could that be an adult doing a kid? And I'm going, doesn't sound like it, you know.
You can change your voice easily. There's software out there.
Well, not like that. You could hear when it was electronically altered.
Like Phil. There you go, Robert.
What?
Sounds like Phil to me.
Oh, it sounds like Phil?
Like Fake Phil.
Fake Phil.
I think the go-go dancer was more like Phil.
There's a thought I won't be able to get out of my mind tonight.
Yeah.
That guy ruined your dinner.
Oh boy. So anyway, I have a little chest congestion today.
It's probably COVID.
I'm sure it is. Well, no, I'm now 2 weeks, 12 days on
Close
the
to
shot.
being perfect.
So I've got a level of protection now.
Unless I get canceled by Kaiser, Monday's my second injection.
Yeah, well, I don't want you people even saying that to me because I'm so insane about the fact that they made it like 5.5 weeks.
I know,
and I'm going, why? Everybody, it's given 4 weeks, right? Boom, in the arm. And with me, no, it's 5.5 weeks. And they even had a sign at this place saying, if your date is longer than 4 weeks, don't worry, it's okay, is what the sign said at the place. So obviously they knew that people weren't getting there, at least, I think it's by the place where you got your shot as to what date you can come back. And the 27th was the first date that was available, so.
Did you see the video I sent you, Alex? Dr. Fauci spoke yesterday.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, but I had seen it already.
So it's they don't. I don't want to get into this again.
Here we go. What they don't know. I know. Look at Robert. Look at Robert. Robert, do it again. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. He actually agreed that you could maybe take it out to 6 weeks. But that's not what they want to do. And then I'm done talking about COVID.
Wait a minute. I can take it out in 6 weeks? I don't understand where we're going with this.
The British are doing it for 12. You know.
Are we talking about Uranus again?
Can we get back to this? The British are doing it for 12.
Okay.
Okay. So they can stretch out the amount that they have to shoot in people's arms the first time. They feel that if you get it in their arm the first time, at least that's better than not getting it in at all because you don't have enough because there are people having their second shot. So if they make it 12 weeks, they're just going to be able to give out more shots. So we don't. But Fauci,
everybody still needs a second shot.
And the reason Fauci is saying 6
now, 6 weeks from now.
The reason Fauci is saying you can stretch it to 6 weeks is because just like he originally said, don't wear masks when he knew that the masks were needed for the healthcare workers, and they didn't want to have a run on masks. He's doing the same thing with the 6 weeks. He's saying, well, don't wait the full 6 weeks or whatever, because he doesn't want people to do that, because people will. They'll just get lazy, say, I don't want to go back immediately, and so on. So it's just his way of saying, hey, this is ideal. This is what you should do. Okay? And
check your temperature next. We're going in the sequence again, or what?
What?
You got to check your temperature.
No,
again,
I'm not going to take my temperature on the air. I refuse to take my temperature on the air. Okay?
Good.
All right.
Good. That saves us 15 minutes.
We know what your temperature is anyway.
Yeah, well, I know it's okay. It's fine.
It says so on the screen.
What?
Your temperature.
I should have a thing where you can see it hooked up to me where you can see my temperature on the screen at all times.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, you like that? You like that, Robert?
Yeah, I think we should do a theme night, where we play, we do a pool, You know, who has 97.9? We all simultaneously take our temperature, and everybody throws in a buck, you know.
No, we could do it. We could do lowest temperature wins.
Yeah, like paycheck poker.
Yeah. But then you might do something. If you're using one of the ones for the forehead, you might go get yourself some ice out of the freezer and just put it on your head for a couple of minutes.
See, right away you're looking for an angle.
Yeah. or you might, if you're using a thermometer, you might take in some cold liquid, you know, and try and get it down. Well, I'm 75.3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got a pulse? Have you got a pulse? Oh man, you know. But I mean, I will be. I was just thinking about it today. I'm getting very depressed lately. Oh, what's new, Alex?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that.
You know, but I mean, it's just enough is enough already. I just want to be able to go. I want that second shot so I at least can go out and feel a certain level of protection, okay, and not live in fear.
You had no side effects from the first one?
No.
Neither did I.
No. If I did, they were so fast and so passing that I didn't even pay attention to them. You know.
You go out in the snow at all, though, Alex, regularly?
Did I go out in the snow?
Yeah.
No.
Like during the winter time, do you usually stay in anyways?
I haven't left the house. I haven't left the house, I think, in a week now.
I mean, like
I haven't showered for 5 days. What?
But I mean, like previous winters, do you ever go outside during the winter?
Not as much as I do the rest of the year, obviously. You know, I don't go out when it's too hot. You know, I consider that like a snowstorm when it's 100 degrees. So, let's face it, I just don't. I don't go out much. All right. Well,
I rest my case. That's the point I think we're trying to make: is that your life isn't really as changed as you might think it is.
Well, it is changed enough because you know I would sometimes. Hey, I think I'll get on the subway. I'll go down to Italy and I'll buy some ravioli and bring it back for dinner. You know, and you just do that on a whim. Yeah, subway, boom, down there, take it back home. Ooh, lovely ravioli for dinner. I can't do that now. You know, we had this court case going. They said the judge said, well, if you want to come back and do the court case, you can do it. And then he said, we completely COVID-proof the courthouse every day. And I'm going, can you assure me? Can you assure me? You know, I happen to be 81 years old. Can you assure me that I'm not putting myself in the crosshairs of COVID? And the judge can't say yes on that one. And by the way, if I get COVID, I'm then going to turn around and sue you because you said it was COVID-proof. You know,
COVID-proof would be an empty courtroom. COVID-proof would be an empty courtroom.
An empty courtroom, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to. Then the offer was there that we could do it. What do you call it? Virtually, and that's fine with me. You know.
So the empty courtroom, I like that. It kind of sounds like an empty brain, like the guy in Florida that Robert was talking about. The guy that just left the White House for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm wondering what they're doing with cases of like criminals who get arrested and so on. And do they still have the courthouse open for that?
Well, early on in California, they were, unless you had done some really heinous crime like rape or murder or arson or something like that, they would what we call cite and release. We'd issue you, it looks like a traffic ticket, and instead you check the box that says misdemeanor, and 30 days from that day or the closest after a weekend, you put that date on it, and they're supposed to show up to court. But what they do is they go back out and burglarize another house, steal another car, because God forbid that these people that victimize people go to jail and get COVID.
Well, wait a minute. Stealing a car isn't victimizing.
No.
What I hate about our laws is that everything is against the law. Most of the things the police go out and deal with are crimes which are against property. God forbid you should do anything to property. People is another story, but property is a big deal. Oh, I got robbed. Okay, we'll go take care of that. You know what I'm saying? In other words, well,
it's like when they knock somebody over. When they're over 75, it ought to not be a crime.
Oh, that's terrible when you hit somebody or you do something violent.
I'm joking, Robert. Don't look so serious.
No, I understand violence. That's a different thing altogether. But the trouble is, most of the laws we have protect property and not people. Am I right or wrong, Robert? Would you agree or disagree?
I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
I think we're overly concerned with property.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
I mean, they kept saying, like with the Capitol, that's terrible. Look at that. They're breaking the windows. Yeah, but they also shot a woman to death. Now, that's slightly more important. And somehow, even though I have no sympathy for her because she broke into the Capitol and she probably believed that QAnon was right, nevertheless, she was shot to death. And it almost seems like they didn't do much to go look into that case.
That was a property crime.
That wasn't a property crime when they finally shot her.
Somebody bought that bullet.
When they
they looked into it and they determined that it wasn't murder because the guy was defending himself.
But have you seen the video? I saw the video.
I know, but
he was trying to climb into the window.
Yeah, but
through the window to come in there and get him.
Yeah, but
she was with a mob that was going to kill him.
Yeah.
My question is, and I'll ask Alan this because Alan was a cop, decorated, I might add. But Alan, my question is, and Marjorie always says this too, why don't they shoot for the foot? Why don't they shoot for the arm? Why do they always shoot for body mass?
Well, body mass is the biggest thing to hit. That's the first part of the question. Mm-hmm. The second part of the equation is, what is that person doing for the police to shoot at
Do you think that woman? I saw her.
Are they breaking into a car or stealing your favorite?
Well, to begin with, that woman who broke through the window or was coming through the window, was not armed.
Well, you don't have to have a gun or a knife.
Well, what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is that my question is, why didn't they shoot for the foot? If you shoot somebody in the foot, they're going to stop. There's no question about that.
If you hit the foot.
That's right. It's kind of a
okay. Try for the foot, and if that doesn't work, then go for body mass. Okay.
So you shoot for the foot, you miss, it hits the floor, ricochets, and hits somebody across the street, some little kid in a hotel room.
But that could happen if you shoot for my body too.
Yeah.
And less likely to miss, though. It's a bigger target.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
but
right.
It still could happen.
I mean,
it could.
I think she got hit in the chest. This woman.
Yeah.
And it could have gone through her and got the person next to her as well.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of, it depends on,
I think, I honestly believe no matter what was happening there, the least force was not an issue there. They used the most force. I saw it with my own two eyes.
I watched it last night,
to begin with, the cop, did you notice how far away the cop was from her?
How far?
There was a window she was going in on the right, that had been busted. He was all the way to the left of that, what is a double doorway, and he shot her. She wasn't anywhere near him.
Yeah, but also she was climbing in a window.
I'm only asking this. See, I'm not asking this because I feel sorry for her. I'm asking this because I'm bringing it up as an ethical question. Was he right to shoot her? Was his life in danger? What?
She wasn't the only thing that they had to worry about. There was a whole mob of people out there.
Thank you,
they're all
Charlie.
coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you,
and
Charlie.
did that shooting of her stop them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nobody
that was
else
the
tried to get in
idea.
that window.
Yeah, nobody else went through that window after her.
They heard of it. You heard everybody go, "He's got a gun! He's got a gun!" And they all started scattering.
What would he was armed with rubber bullets? What would it done to her?
That sounds like a Democrat asking that
Well,
question.
no, I want to know because I think that sometimes the cops use excessive force.
What happens if the gun's loaded with rubber bullets, and the bad guy has steel bullets, and he's shooting at you?
Okay, I'm saying, what if he was shooting at somebody who was unarmed? Okay,
But you can't tell that she's climbing through a window.
That's right. Charlie's right.
Jeff?
If there's one guy and he comes into your house and he goes, I'm thinking about killing you.
Oh, that's different.
And I'm your policeman. You might say, listen, I got a gun. I'm not going to kill you right now. I might shoot you in the foot because it's easy. However, when there's 200 people there crashing into the place, it's a crazy place. And you don't have to make those 7 different decisions. You got one good decision.
I mean, I'm asking, I think here, a hypothetical question here. You know, I want to know why Marge often said this to me. Why do they always go for body mass? Why don't they go for the foot or something else which would shoot them, which would hurt them? You know, it's like in movies when the car's starting to get away and the cop tries to shoot at the car, she's yelling out at the TV, shoot the tires, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
If that cop would have shot 10 people,
yeah,
then you'd be saying, well, why did he have to shoot 10? What if he only shot 1? They would all get the idea and scram.
Yeah, but I just
he only shot 1, so he should be happy.
I just don't know that from what I saw, there was enough danger there that he should have shot. You know something? You know how he could have made them scatter? Just shoot the gun straight up in the air. You know, just fire the gun.
So
that's property.
Better than that is shoot into the ground so the bullet goes in the ground.
Well,
because
okay.
What goes up comes down.
You know what I often wondered? All these Islamic countries, when they're really happy,
I wonder the same thing. They fire all their guns.
They shoot
I wonder
guns.
how many people get killed.
They shoot guns straight up in the air. Don't those bullets come down on somebody?
Yep. Well, they come down, but if somebody's there, you can hurt them.
From what I'm told, though, the velocity of it coming down is not the same as it would be going into somebody. Because it goes up, it slows down, and then it comes down to the earth.
No, but because of air resistance.
Yeah, because of air resistance.
Because of air resistance.
Yeah. So I'm wondering.
Gravity and air resistance.
They must know something we don't know. Otherwise, a lot of Muslims would be dead now, and we wouldn't have to go out and fight them because we just say, let's just make them happy. You know,
they're not dead, but they all have little dents in the top of their head.
Yeah.
So I mean, you bring this up, but I don't know, 6 months ago. Some little girl in Oakland, some gangbanger shot his gun in the air, and 2 blocks away, some little 4-year-old girl received that bullet coming out of the sky, and it killed her.
Yeah, it can.
Not
it
all
can
the
do
bullets
that.
that shoot into the air hit people. You know, maybe in China where it's more dense or something. I don't know, but a lot of those bullets go, fly back down to the gravity, hit the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, do they?
They're banking on the fact that nobody will be underneath the bullet when it falls.
So warning shots are not the way.
Well, so I want to know, in those Muslim countries where they do this out of tradition, how many people die from falling bullets?
I don't know. That's your homework assignment.
Wait, Robert's laughing. Is this a silly question to ask?
Yeah, it's somewhat. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
Why? I mean, I want an answer.
Well, because by the time it hits its apex and then starts coming down, now it's just the same as it would be if it were a stone that somebody threw.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe we should get some
That's why I said they all have little
do an experiment.
Top of their head.
Well, isn't in fact the shooting of a gun a technologically more efficient way of throwing a rock?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And according to my friend here, F equals M times dV over dt.
Yeah.
May the force be with you.
I want to go back.
Can you do that,
go
Charlie?
Back a little.
Who else can do that?
I can't do that.
You just got to do it. You got to do it immediately here. You can't think about it too
much. I can do it that way.
What is it?
You got to spread them first, right? That's what I told her. That's what I told her.
Do that too.
Yeah, you got to spread them first. That's what I told her.
I never can get the
Oh, but a bum bum.
That's what I told her.
Yeah, somebody's paying.
That's what I told your mother. How's that?
Robert wanted to go back.
I want to go back to the implication. Now, I'm not a Democrat, but I want to go back to the implication that Democrats somehow are anti-law and order. That was the implication. Why, Alan, did you say it that way? Why was there a derogatory comment levied toward Democrats? And I'm not a Democrat.
Okay, so well, neither am I actually. I'm an independent.
So am I.
And I am too.
Because Democrats are anti-gun.
Is that a fact?
I'm not anti-gun.
Is that a fact?
Maybe not everybody here. Let's look at what's going on right now. HR Bill 127, I think it is to try and take a lot of gun rights away from American citizens.
Is that anti-gun, or is it just curtailing the use of ridiculous weapons?
I think it's anti-gun because
I think that's full of shit.
Okay. One step leads to another step to another step.
Oh, stop.
Yeah,
you
just
guys
like
have been
all these
using that
traffic
fucking
laws.
trope for 100 years. Get off it.
Who is you guys?
Get off it.
All these traffic laws are going to lead
National
to taking your car
Rifle
away, right?
Association.
I don't belong to the National Rifle
Police forces across the country, gun enthusiasts have been using the same line of shit forever.
Yeah.
You know, if they take away your AK, whatever the fuck it is, next thing you know, you won't be able to hold the pistol. Well, that isn't what the bill says. What the bill says is that they're going to limit the size of a weapon. I mean, why not say the same thing about me owning a fucking bazooka?
Yeah.
You know, like I should own a bazooka, and you can't now say to me that I shouldn't own a bazooka because you'll say next, you know, they'll come to your house and they'll take your, fuck that.
No more slingshots.
That's just dealing in fear. That's all that is.
Yeah,
I want to own a tank. Why can't I own a tank?
Why not? And if you take it away from me,
where's the right to
stifling my rights?
Where's my right to bear nuclear arms?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bullshit.
No,
Now
you know
you're
the thing is
Now you're not
that
fooling around.
I just don't find any practical purpose for a gun. Okay. And I am. It's not that I'm anti-gun. I just question the ability to be able to use them. I don't think they necessarily help with crime.
And get them.
Listen, in England for years, the police never carried a sidearm. Never. And once they did start carrying them, they were under their tunic where people couldn't see they had them. They were concealed. And the reason is they found and they felt that the presence of a gun only escalated a situation. And so therefore it was, and this is true, the criminals in England, if they heard that anybody was using a gun in a crime or whatever, they would try and find that person and stop them because it was like a thing. The cops don't carry guns, neither do the bad guys. Okay.
But did the English cops have a stick or something like that?
Well,
Yeah,
they
they
had a
had
stick, yeah. But nobody, there was a higher respect for law and order there. Nobody would shoot a cop. They would have not only the police after them, but they would have the criminals after them too, looking for them.
Kind of like the Italian mafia.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like, yeah. But what I'm saying is that I think that guns have a tendency to exacerbate a situation rather than to minimize it. I think if the police didn't carry guns, a lot of people would never think about shooting at a policeman.
They're going to come and take away your guns. It's such a tired old trope. I'll tell you the other tired old trope. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Well, I'll tell you
people who
something.
kill people are the luckiest people in the world. What?
When my son was 3 years old, if he happened to pick up a rock and throw it at another kid and hurt him, I blamed my son, but I took away the rock.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, people have to pick up the weapon in order to do it. I get it. But if there's no rock, there's no rock throwing.
And if there's no gun.
So that's gun control. If there's no guns.
But I'm not talking about, personally, I'm not talking about gun control. You made the point about the HR bill, which just limits the size of guns It limits the amount of bullets that can be contained in that gun. It never says a fucking word about taking away your personal gun from home. Not one word.
Okay.
But they don't want you to have that. They don't want. They don't want you to have. They don't want you to have that Uzi. You know.
Yeah.
You know, they're just saying, hey, you know, if you want to have a gun, here's the kind of gun you can have. If you need it for protection at home because that makes you feel better, you know, you can listen. You know this. You know this as a policeman, and if you don't know this, I'm sorry that you don't. And that is that the most common thing that people are shot with are the guns they own in their home, either because some kid plays with it, or because they misfire it, or some bad guy comes in, they've got the gun, and now they don't have the ability to pull the trigger, and the guy takes that gun away from him and shoots him with his own gun. You know, unless you're ready to shoot somebody with that gun, you better not have one, because all you've done is you've brought into a situation which might just be a robbery where the guy isn't carrying a gun, and you've added a lethal weapon to the situation. Am I right or wrong?
It.
Alan, am I right or wrong?
My point. You made my point, Alex.
What?
Why people should be able to allowed to have guns in this country?
Why? So that the person.
No, you just made the point.
So the person who comes in can then grab the gun away from that guy and shoot him. People are shot more with their own weapons. Alan,
it happens.
What do you mean? It happens all the time.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So, are you safer having a gun in your home, or it'd be better if you didn't have one?
I think I'm safer having a gun in the house.
How often have you used it?
I'm sorry?
How often have you used it?
At a person or at a paper target?
At a person, to protect yourself in your home, which was the original premise for you having it in the first place.
Never. I've never shot at somebody in my home.
Okay, so I have a tie that keeps elephants away, but there isn't an elephant for 2,000 miles, and I'll say, see, it works.
It's like that old joke that Hitchcock used to tell about how he came up with the term MacGuffin. It's a joke in which a guy says, "What?" They're traveling in a train. He says, "What's that in that luggage you have up there?" He says, "That's a MacGuffin." And he says, "Well, what is a MacGuffin for?" He says, "It's killing tigers in England." He said, "But there are no tigers in England." He says, "Then that's no MacGuffin."
Right.
And that's where the term MacGuffin came from, for something he would use in his movies, where it was the thing that everybody in the picture was looking for, but it didn't really further the plot. It just was a catalyst for the plot. But anyway, the fact is that I think the chances of most people who are going to be robbed in their own home are, what would you say are the odds?
Very low.
Okay.
But it happens.
So you have a gun. You have a gun. You have this dangerous, lethal weapon in your home, which a kid can find and play with and shoot himself, or that if somebody, God forbid, does come into your home, he can wrestle from you and then turn around and shoot you, because when it comes time for you to shoot that gun at that guy, you can't bring yourself to do it. You know? And so it's more dangerous to have that gun entered into the equation than maybe when there was no gun at all, because the guy who was robbing you just came and thought you were in... Huh?
So, Alex, you're okay to just be a victim to any crime as well?
Hey, you want my car? Steal it. Go ahead. You want my TV set? Here, I'll hand it to you. Just don't shoot me.
How many times have you used your gun in your home for this mythical person that walks in your home and steals something? By your own admission, that's never happened. Okay, so in effect, you're creating a straw dog and saying, in order to prevent against this irrational, I would say, fear, I need to have this tool. But in fact, it's proven out over time that you didn't need it once.
Okay. So let's take property crimes, Alex.
Yeah.
Somebody stealing my television or my car or something. I'm not going to shoot them. The only time I'm gonna shoot at somebody is if they're threatening my life or somebody else.
Okay, that's you. That's you.
But you're gonna bring out your gun, though. If you hear somebody taking their TV, you're gonna bring out your gun.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Robert.
Mr. Robert, please wait just a second. Hold on here. It's in my drawer. Just give me a second.
No, but I think
shit. I gotta load it with bullets. Hold on.
Wait a minute. No. Worse than that. It's in the safe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. 6 to the
That's
left.
great
Oh,
idea.
no. It was 6 to the right.
No, but what I mean is that
What's the
if
number on
somebody
that
comes in
thing?
the house, you don't know what they have and you don't know what they're after. If they're just asking for the TV and you're going to bring your gun out there, that's the scenario where, yeah, like I can grab your gun if you're not ready to pull the trigger.
Yes, John Larkin.
Also, I think it's too easy to get guns too, right?
Right. John?
I think, I don't have a gun. I never owned a gun, but I wouldn't mind having one just for the hell of it to go, up in the mountains and shoot at signs and shit like that. But I don't want to be able to just go and get one anywhere,
Right.
like just walk into a store and say, hey, I'm buying this. I want to be checked out for like, a week, make sure I'm not crazy. And there's got to be more control on who can get the guns because our society has fucking too many guns.
We're gun crazy in this country.
Too
Alan.
many crazy.
But Alan is a guy who goes out to the range and shoots guns and so on. That's how you met Phil, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
20
at a
years
shooting
ago.
range.
So let me back up for just a couple things.
Yeah.
The kid thing. A responsible gun owner keeps a gun locked up, okay? And I understand Robert pointing, and you guys are on the screen here, but keeps a gun locked up in a safe place. There are safes that are made where you can train the biometric to put your hand on the fingerprint thing, and it opens up and you can get your weapon out. So that solves the kid problem. A lot of people are not that responsible. The second thing is that if somebody broke into my house, kind of what Robert touched on a little bit, Brian touched on, was that you don't know the person's intention. If the person comes in, doesn't have a gun, I retrieve my gun, and he's just taking my TV, he can walk away with it. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna deal with it. But I'm not gonna get close enough to him for him to take the gun from me.
Let me ask you one quick question here, Alan.
Go ahead.
How much does a biometric device cost?
You can get. I'll send you a link. You can get a couple $100.
Do you think somebody who can buy a gun for almost next to nothing wants to buy something biometric and pay $200 for it?
Absolutely, if they're responsible.
If they're
gun
responsible,
owner.
How many people do you think are responsible out there?
Everybody I know.
Oh, really? How about the people you had to deal with as a cop?
That's a different story.
Alan, let me ask you this. How long did you train as a policeman? How long did you train with a firearm? I assume that both you and Phil are trained in the use of firearms to expert degree. Okay, would you agree that it would be safe for you to have a firearm, but I've never held a firearm in my life. For me, it might not be quite as safe.
We're probably lucky in that case.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've got a theme playing
It's
there.
true.
Oh, wow.
And we've run out of time. Boy, this has gone by fast. What a good,
Yep.
good solid,
Tomorrow night,
good
all
solid.
night.
What?
Gun talk tomorrow night, all night.
All night, yeah, right. Welcome to a meeting of the NRA here. Yes, Robert Natali, thank you. So good to have you on again. Always good to have you here. Alan, good to have you here too. Made for good conversation. Right. Charlie, thank you. Robert, Brian, rather, thank you. And thank you, Jeffrey Stein, and thank you to John Larkin. And if you'll all give a big wave goodbye, I'll give a big wave goodbye at you and say goodnight. Good night, everybody. Yeah, there they go. There goes our citizen panel. Some of them hung up before I could hang up on them. Well, I can beat them to it. I'm a professional. Anyway, good discussion about guns. Man. Listen, hey, that's it for tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, yeah, you know what? Tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there. Wear a mask. Night, everybody.